So now why don't we take that and do a little bit of a practicum. We're going to do a little bit of a practical experiential experience of this, or try to build that experience of flow in our lives, but also in this moment. One of the things I was talking about there is this idea of removing all of the things that aren't flow. So we're going to do a few things. There's some techniques that we can do to create that. Now, of course, the example that I gave at the beginning of the table tennis, or whatever it was for you when you had already experienced that flow, those ones are a little bit easier, right? Because we love those things. I really enjoy playing that sport. And so for me, it's a little bit easy to get into the flow there. But for today, I'd like to try to introduce something a little bit different. How do we bring that experience of joy and absorption, of dhyana, from that thing that we already like a lot? How do we bring that into something that maybe we don't like so much? So I'm going to ask you all to bring a thought into your mind of something that you don't really like. Now, for the purposes of this, I think we should start with something that's a little bit easier. So don't pick something, the great challenge of your life, the thing that just causes you consternation every single day, and I'm sure there's nothing like that in your life. But let's pick something small, something we have a preference that doesn't quite align with. I'll give you an example from my life right now. I'm about to move, and I'm in the process of packing. And I don't like packing. I don't find it to be an enjoyable experience. Not because the packing itself is the problem, but because I've noticed that there are fears around when I get to the place, I will have forgotten something. I will have forgotten the just exact thing that I needed so badly, and I'm going to hit myself with frustration because I forgot this thing. So it's not a big deal. I forgot a shirt, I forgot a hat, I forgot whatever it is. But that feeling of, regret that comes from it. But this could be anything for you. It could be a kind of food you don't like, a kind of situation, or something like traffic. So it's something that is not a preference of yours, something you don't love, but it doesn't have to be something really bad. And we're going to try something here that's going to feel a little funny at first. But especially if you're alone in the room where you're watching this, I encourage you to try it. And that is, we're going to use an enthusiastic affirmation. And we're going to use that to change our relationship with this thing and try to create an experience of flow with it. So this is something that I have done in my past as a teacher of children, but I find it also very helpful for me, because sometimes things that are a little bit funny to us actually help to unlock that flow. There's some blockages in us that says, we don't want to do that because it's like a little bit weird or a little bit off, or what will people think? But luckily, you're all alone and we can do this safely. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that thing, for me, packing, and with positive affirmation, the key is, you might have heard of affirmation before, this idea that if you say something with enough energy, with enough intensity, with enough concentration, with enough belief, it can actually start to change your relationship with it. It can actually start to create a new groove in your brain. They have done studies on the power of affirmation, and over again, simply saying something that's not maybe yet true, that maybe on some level you don't really believe, can actually start to create its own reality. So we're going to do that now together. And it's a very simple affirmation. This one is going to be, I love blank. And blank is whatever thing or situation or task you have picked. So for me, it's, I love packing. And you're going to say it just really loud, really forcefully, really try to put a smile on your face while you do it. I love packing. I love packing. Try it with different voices. I love packing. What we're trying to do here, keep saying it in your mind as I continue to explain about it. What we're trying to do here is create a new pattern, let's say even like a new reality from here on out, where we actually love that thing. I love packing. I love packing. I love packing. Now this part is the fun part. This is the awakening enthusiasm part, where we're just trying to feel a new relationship with it. And you also don't have to say it out loud. You can say it inside. But now we're going to take it a little bit more inward. Take it a little bit more seriously. Think about it. Could you love this thing? Could I love packing? Could I learn to put aside the fears that I associate with it? Could I learn to understand that It's just a thing, and when I get to the place I'm going, I'll have whatever I have and it'll be okay. I love packing. I love packing. Now, what we're doing here also, we're starting off at the real highest level of this. We're saying love packing. But that's because you need to work at the highest octave. If your energy around something is down here, you could say, I tolerate packing. But all that's going to do is raise you up just a little bit towards that. But if you aim way at the top, I love packing, finding that average in between, it's going to raise it up to here at first. So take it inside again. Now silently. I love packing. I love this thing. I love this situation. I encourage you just for a few moments, let's actually close our eyes now and say it just a few more times with real intensity, with real deep focus, and most importantly, with belief. You may have to suspend your disbelief temporarily. And just let that be over there, that disbelief that says, no, this isn't going to work. No, I don't love that. I have this preference. But the more that you do this, really start to feel your relationship with that thing changing. I love it. I love it. You can even start to just say, I love. I love. I love. Allow yourself to identify with that feeling of love. Now we can release the thing, but keep that feeling of love. It may be helpful to think about other things and people in your life that you feel love around. A relationship with a friend, a parent or a child, a particular piece of music. Those things that awake the natural love of your heart. Now feel that sense of love principally in the area of your heart, in the chest. Maybe you feel a warmth there, a little bit of tingling. Or maybe just a small sense of joy starting to grow and expand. Feel it start to fill you, your entire chest, out into your arms, filling your torso. Moving all the way down your legs into your feet. This real, direct experience of the love that lives inside. Feel it also moving upwards, up the neck, into the head. Filling your face, your eyes, your whole body filled with that feeling of love. A love that is not conditional. A love that seems familiar because it exists inside ourselves. Now feel that love expand out from your body to fill your whole room, your home, your neighborhood, your town, your country, and the whole planet. All beings connected by that same purpose, to get into that flow, which is the highest quality of ourselves that can be expressed through love. And now finally, call to mind something in your life that doesn't feel like it's flowing. It can be our example, or it can be something more meaningful. Someone in our life who's challenged by us or who challenges us. A friend with whom we've had a misunderstanding. Whatever it is, consciously feel that flow of love connecting you and that person, you and that situation. Allow that flow, visualizing it physically, flowing from you to them. To heal whatever challenges there are, whatever misunderstandings. The power of flow is that it works irrespective of the words that are said, this plane of interaction. The flow is what connects us to our higher selves and to everyone in this world. Let's just be in that stillness for a few moments. Now, if you feel ready, slowly bring yourself back into a more outward awareness. Or if you prefer, you can remain here for a few more minutes. The more that we're able to experience that flow directly, the more we'll be able to share it with everyone we interact with. And the more that we're able to do that, the more our whole world changes. That is the end of this morning's session. We invite you, we'll have a break now for lunch. We invite you to come back at 1 p.m. for the afternoon session. Thank you.